Beginning of the month is always a good time to start new things, especially when you come after a long holiday. We just had 1 week off here in Dubai because of Eid. Today is June 1st. Time to give new meanings to old stuff. In the last couple of years, I have been giving my work too much attention, and I have made it bigger than it should be in terms of life perspective. I have defined my life through my work. I have looked for value in my life through my work, and it's time for me to stop that, because work is one part of life, and because I was giving that attitude or that importance or taking my work so seriously, I let other parts of my life to be contaminated by the bad moments in work, which they always going to happen, and that's not a good thing. So in the last 2 months, April and March, we had this 2 weeks off. 1 week off in April when I went to New York, spent a week there, no digital life whatsoever, Instagram posts, no Instagram scrolling, and just reflecting on life and enjoying my time there. And this last week, also here in Dubai with Eid, I took the time to actually reflect a little bit more and define what work represents to me and what I want my work to represent in my life and what I want to get out of it. And maybe this is just the first chapter, the first day of building this new relationship with work, this new meaning to work, and also getting back on track with my life goals, getting back on track with what I want to do with my life at 42 years old, how I want my life to be in the next coming years, and start putting that plan to work. Taking the day to visit some clients. Just visit one here next to Emirates Mall, and we are getting very good actually feedback from some of the brokers. This particular broker was telling me that they do have clients. Of course, people are still asking every single day for distressed deals. Just trying to figure out where I park my car. People are still asking for distressed deals, which is not very common to find these days, even though people think it is. I don't know where I park my car. Oh, it's right here. Even though people think it is, the brokers are not finding distressed deals. People are asking for 20% discounts and things like that, and she was telling me that the max that they can actually negotiate is being, and she was telling me that the max that they can negotiate is usually around 5% discount. People are not giving a lot of credit or a lot of discount for buyers. It is a buyer market, but it's not that bad of a buyer market. So this particular broker is very optimistic about this month of June. She said she has some clients that they wanna close the deal before they leave for the summer. Remember, summer here in Dubai is low season, but in the end of the day, it's very good to come to the broker's office, take a look on what they are doing, what the feedback they're having, and see how we can help them improve their sales process. When we are doing business, especially in another country that is not conventional to us, it's important to understand the dynamic of the local market. I just came to a meeting in a very traditional neighborhood here in Dubai, and the guy couldn't be more simple, like t-shirt, shorts, because it's summer here in Dubai, so it's hot, very messy office, and super nice guy. Insisted me to have some tea, so we had some tea. And this very unpretentious office that he had, he is one of the biggest sales team here in Dubai, and I didn't even know, and I have him in my contacts list for a while. So basically his clients are family offices. So a lot of family offices here in Dubai, they scout for projects, and the projects that they approve, they send to this person to do the sale. So we need to keep the mind open for those situations, because if I would just judge by the neighborhood, the building, or the office, I would never consider doing business with this person. But having an open mind, understanding that the market in different countries work differently, and not everyone that looks rich is rich, is very important to do good deals. So very nice. I just came unannounced. The guy was super cordial with me, and I hope we can get good business from there. Today I'm exploring this area which is called Dubai Canal. We are right in front of Business Bay, and all the way there goes to the beach. And this is where we have our ultra luxury projects. Here we have one of them, which is one canal, is going to be delivered by the end of the year. Next to it, right there, we have Casa Canal, which is our biggest project. All of our projects are very boutique, less than 67 units. The biggest one is this one with 67 units. It's 3 towers connected to one of them, making just one big project. And this is an area that actually not a lot of people from outside of the UAE or even outside of Dubai actually know. People usually stay to Business Bay, downtown, Palm Jumeirah, or whatever. And here we are in one of the most luxurious areas of Dubai. The neighborhood is actually called Jumeirah 2, on the other side of the road, and also Al-Wazel, which is the neighborhood that is on the side to the beach, and this side here. And the reason why this is one of the most luxury, exclusive areas of Dubai is because the density is very low. The buildings are not high rises. You're not going to have buildings like those ones. That's Al Habtoor City. You can see everything here is low rise. So the less you can build in an area like this, waterfront, we have Dubai Safa Park right there. We have one of the best schools in Dubai in this area also. So because this is in a nice neighborhood and waterfront, the price of the land is very high. So when you have less units, less residents to split the cost, the individual cost gets very, very expensive. We're talking about most of the projects, they are on the 10,000, 9,000, 10,000, 13,000 dirhams per square foot. And our projects are between 5,000 and 6,000 per square foot. So we are, in terms of an investment side, it's much better than the competition. There's a boardwalk that follows the canal and goes all the way to the beach. Here we have another construction. That's Business Bay already. Here we have another construction. This is a massive building. It's not necessarily on the canal. but it's close to it. And we are close to very upscale neighborhoods, Jumeirah, which is basically Jumeirah 1, Jumeirah 2, Jumeirah 3. They are leasehold, meaning you have to be from one of the GCC countries. So if you are international, you cannot buy a house. But this part, the Safa Park, or the Dubai Canal, look how green it is. It's very green. You have the park here and the buildings there, you can see. This part is actually freehold. Everything else is leasehold for now. So you cannot actually buy houses like these ones. These are free leaseholds. Foreigners cannot purchase this kind of property. So it is a way to enter this community. It is a way to be very well surrounded by neighbors, not only on the houses, but also within the actual building. Because, for instance, one of our projects has 32 units, 32 residences. The elevator goes straight to the living room. You're not sharing a hallway with anybody. Those are properties, those are trophy assets, just like the 1000 Museum in Miami, that they just become a members club. Naturally, they become a members club. People who are there, they will want to be there also because of the neighbors. Because people from oil and gas, investors and celebrities, they want to be in those areas, and when there is lack of supply, the prices get more expensive. And when you have exclusivity, and that's a word that here in Dubai is just thrown out as anything else, because I see developers building like 6,000 units and call exclusive. Like, that's not exclusive. So all this area here is leasehold. So we are approaching the beach at this moment. So the beach is right there, and in front of the beach we have the Bulgari Island, and we have also an area called Peninsula, which is going to be even more exclusive, because then we are at the beach. We are talking about 17,000 dirhams per square foot compared to average there, I would say 10. We are at 5 and 6 depending on the property. We have a penthouse that is 43,000 square feet, so the price per square foot gets dragged down because it's so massive. 220 million for 43,000 square feet. That's a lot of area. But the point is, there's more to Dubai than just the villa communities, the middle of the desert, and the well-known business bays and marinas and JBRs and things like that. If you like a good design, our designs are made by Kila Design, which is the same company that did the Marcel Arab and the Museum of the Future. So the beach is right on the other side. We can actually not cross here because I put the location on the map. But there we can go under the bridge, and I think we can go to the beach from here. So this is where I told you there is what you call a promenade that takes you there. This is the promenade right there. We have that promenade there that goes around the canal. This is the canal, right where I am at this moment. There's a guy here just driving his electrical bike. This is the canal. Very secluded and exclusive area, and this is where people with good taste and discretion want to be, these kind of areas. And to be honest, from the freehold areas, I would say this is the best one. I'm completely in love with this area. Dubai Canal is like just phenomenal. And people who are looking for this kind of stuff, look, the houses. Those are all leaseholds. You cannot buy there, you know. And here you go to the cycle track in Jumeirah Beach. As we are driving here, you can rent your little bike, and this is the beach already. You see, like this is already the beach, the Jumeirah Beach, Jumeirah 3 here. So you are very well located geographically, right? So this is more areas. You are well located. Look at the houses. Those houses, to buy and renovate is a great deal, but unfortunately to buy a house, look, this one is building a massive house here. To buy this house, you have to be from the GCC countries, because this is a leasehold area. So foreigners cannot buy. But the local people, they are buying those houses and renovating and selling them, because they are just massive. They are in great locations, and there's a huge demand for waterfront properties and mansions here in Dubai, with all the people moving from Europe, and they are still moving from Europe regardless of what the haters say. People are still moving, and if you have the money, you can find a local partner, purchase the house, like lend him the money so he can purchase and register the house under his name and do a renovation like this one is doing right here. See? So yeah, that's a little bit of Dubai Canal, and this area feels very much like, I don't know, like LA a little bit, because you have all the beauty clinics and aesthetic clinics. So it does feel like Beverly Hills a little bit. You have the big houses, the big commercial houses that they turn into businesses. They are building new stuff here. So this does feel a little bit like Beverly Hills. So yeah, if you didn't know about this area, now you do. Indians in Australia?
Indians in Australia.
Buying here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's
So
interesting.
this, I was an allegiance realist.
What about Canada? Canada there's a lot of Indians.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, because my wife is Colombian but also Canadian. Mm-hmm. She lived in Canada for 14 years, and she told me there is a big Indian community there. Yeah. Do you get clients from Canada or not really?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, during the World War itself, we sold a Canadian client.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have one of my team members.
Okay.
Under my team.
Mm-hmm.
He is living in Canada.
Oh, nice.
6 months in Canada and 6 months in Dubai.
In Dubai, nice. Yeah, I know the market in Canada also was very strong a couple of years ago. I lived 9 years in Miami. I lived 9 years in Miami, so we got a lot of Canadians investing there as well. Yeah. And what people are mostly buying?
Apartments, townhouses.
Okay. Commercial? Not really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commercial came in picture 2024. It got really hyped, right?
Yeah. Like last year, developers is starting to bring new projects. Yes, we were one of them, and we are basically sold out.
Yeah. I have one client in commercial who, commercial clients will only invest in commercial.
Yeah.
And apartments would only do apartments.
Yeah.
So So commercial, yeah.
We had an Indian couple yesterday here looking into commercial. They only want commercial, yeah. But they want something ready. We are almost ready. Our commercial tower is actually a renovation.
Okay.
So we are in between. The best moment to invest is pre-construction because you get more capital appreciation. But also they want something ready to start making money right away. And our project is like the sweet spot between both because we bought an older building and we are going to renovate it. So our construction timing is much faster than other developers. They are just building from scratch. While they will take 4 years, will take a year and a half, and we already started last year, so we deliver in the beginning of the year. So they still can enjoy some capital appreciation and start getting money by first Q of next year. So we are right there. But that's very interesting. Yeah. Focus in Canadian, focus in Indians, whatever they are. Australia, here, India. Okay.
Indians from international, they are very hefty.
But most of your clients are living here or they are abroad? Abroad.
Yeah.
Okay.
For now.
Okay. And during this period of the mess that we have around here, how did you see that? Like, did your business reduce a little bit, continue to sell? What was the perspective?
People took time to, observe. Observation took time. Then it was frozen for the first
2 weeks, 2 months. Okay. So that was the end of. So March and April was basically zero, and then May started to pick up. You sold 14 million last year. That's amazing. Yeah. Very nice. Very good to know. Yeah, we as a developer, we talk to a lot of agents. So in the beginning of the conflict, we had the agents that were taking the moment also to get vacation. Say, oh, nobody's doing anything, let me go out. And they just left. And there were the agents that took that moment to get the opportunities, so they were very busy. And then also in May, we start seeing people coming more to our office even, and things like that. So hopefully now and after summer is always slow. Is slow. And with this, I thought it was going to be lower with summer and this happening. But the last month was surprisingly well. I think because people held their decisions for 2 months. Everybody just pushed back to me, hey, how are you? You were shy. Yeah. So I was waiting for him. I didn't realize we scheduled with the whole team. So the ladies got here and they were sitting down and just waiting. So who are waiting? I'm waiting for Daniel. I'm Daniel. Yeah.
I told them to,
Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
better to do with the whole team.
Yeah, of course. There's more people coming?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like a water or a coffee? Perfect. I went to bed in my regular hours, which is around 9, so I can read until I fall asleep, which is about 9:30, 10. However, yesterday I didn't get a very pleasant call from my mom. My mom texts me in the middle of the afternoon, oh, are you home? Can you talk? And then I call her and my dad's going to have to do knee surgery, and it's been very hard for him to walk Brownie, which is my dog that is with them. So we had some conversations, and I'm going to put Brownie on a 30-day intensive canine training. and we see how it goes. If they can handle to stay with brownie. If not, I'm going to have to find brownie another house. Recently I watched a video from Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was basically saying that one of the reasons that people are not very productive or very alert in the morning is because when they wake up, they go do whatever they need to do. They go to work, they go study, they go reading and things like that. And I don't know how scientific his saying is, but it's based on his experience. And I think Arnold Schwarzenegger has a lot of authority to talk on those subjects. But he says that the first thing that he does is to work out, do some kind of exercise. That helps the blood start flowing better in your body, you drink water, and you oxygenate your brain. So that way, after your workout and you shower and you cool down, now your brain is actually ready to process everything it needs to process. So I was one that used to wake up and then just read or write. But this week I have been doing workouts before anything else. And yeah, it does feel like your brain works better. It's like a car. You need to start the car and let the car get to the right temperature before just rushing out. Otherwise, it's just not going to function properly. In this era of AI, I'm getting very bored of how people are creating content, because they are being lazy and taking advantage of the platform, thinking that nobody knows that that post is AI. You cannot build through authority, through your content, just having AI doing the work for you. And before anybody says anything, of course, I use AI to help me create content. But I don't use AI to just create the content for me. And I'm going to give you a little bit of context for that. The way that I use AI to generate a post for me, or to help me to generate a post, is more on the strategic side and more on the research side. For instance, I just made a prompt here, and it's all in Portuguese because I'm doing a post where I'm studying financial structure to protect the assets of a influencer. He just made a post on social media the other day saying his sources of income and all the companies that he owns, and I took that as a bait for me to generate this post. Okay, if I was this social media influencer who is making 10 million reais, $3 million per year, how would I structure internationally to protect the assets? So I use this prompt to do a full research on this person, how much money they earn, what kind of companies they have, what are the sectors, what are the margins of each different sector, and then they gave me an estimate of their revenue and their profit and how much they pay on taxes. And then I asked them to, okay, now give me a structure based in Dubai and in BVI to protect their assets and pay less interest and less taxes, and that's how they did it. And then I asked also the prompt to generate the actual images, because instead of hiring someone to do the images, ChatGPT can do that for me. So there was a lot of thoughts on my side, there was a lot of insights on my side, there was a lot of knowledge on my side, because this is a subject that is on my domain, and I'm just using the AI as if it was an employee to do what I want, rather than asking ChatGPT, what should I do? I know what should I do. I know how to serve my clients. Instead of just hiring a person or 5 different people,
having to pay salaries and things like that, I just use AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude to fast forward the process to me. So that's how I use ChatGPT and AI to generate content. Now, if your content is just make me a post about this, and then you see there and on the first line people know that is AI, you are just putting yourself off the market.